People are always going to be cruel. It's just cheaper to do it that way. I feel like whatever's quicker is better.
Yeah, well, just take your names first of all.
Jahan.
Jahan?
Dan.
Dan, good to meet you.
It's me, mate.
Good to meet you. Obviously, it's all animal related.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know much about the RSPCA?
I know what they are.
A little bit, yeah? Okay. So the very first one is about chickens and turkeys. So some of these are pure RSPCA, some of them are half and half, and you'll see what I mean when I go through them. So first one is chickens and turkeys. Due to being kept in confined spaces in huge groups, young chickens and turkeys, they quite often have their beaks trimmed, which basically prevents them from harming one another. Now that process, it does have the potential to cause significant pain and suffering. And although the RSPCA have said they'd like to phase that process out, they do still permit it as long as it's performed by a trained professional. The question is, do you think that process can ever be justified?
Do I think it can be justified? You gotta feed people when people want chicken. If this is what has to happen, I guess so. It doesn't have to happen that way.
Yeah.
But
What do you think?
people are always going to be cruel. Like,
I think I could go for an easier option, but squirrel process.
it's about money.
Some
It's about-
alternative options.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's the cheapest way of doing it, rather than, well, let's cut all their beaks off instead of giving them more space.
Exactly.
There's an easier way of doing it.
They-
but these
there's like-
companies,
They have
want to-
like tens. Well, I think the barn. Some of them have like 30,000 in there in one barn. It's crazy.
It's money hungry stuff. It's nothing to do with caring about animals and not caring about animals. It's just cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Second one is chicks, baby chicks. Now you might have seen some of this. You might not have done, but because so the first bit's non-RSPCA, because they can't lay eggs on their first day of life. The males are separated from the females, and they're quite often put onto a conveyor belt and they're dropped into a massive blender. It's called a macerator. You've seen that before? Yeah. Basically, I can show. Yeah.
It's pretty mad.
Yeah. They're literally just it's like this, and they just get dropped in.
Is that used for more chicken feed or something? Is it?
Just waste normally. Now the RSPCA prefer that the baby chicks are killed using argon. So basically argon, it takes them no longer than 6 minutes for the chicks to suffocate to death. Of course, sometimes, in fact often,
Sounds
it's
like a
less than
long
that.
time to suffocate to
It is.
die.
The question is, do you think that's a better process than being dropped into the macerator?
I imagine a blender's quicker, isn't it?
It is a bit more gruesome.
It's a bit gruesome, but as soon as the blade hits it, dead. Like, it's been shot in the head. Like, suffocating for 6 minutes sounds
It's
horrible. Yeah.
It's up to. It's usually less, to be fair. So you'd opt macerator, what do you think?
I don't know if there's a better option.
There's no necessarily correct answer. It's just making you think is the whole idea.
All of them will get them anyway.
It's.
All the
I feel like whatever's quicker is better. And it sounds like the blender's quicker, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think knife is quicker.
Knife, yeah, but no one's gonna stand there. It's basically
You're talking
50,000.
Yeah, it's
no more. I think
I do that job chopping chicken.
it's something like 45 million a year.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, number 4. There's 5 in total. Number 4, male dairy calves. Non-RSPCA. Because they're useless to the industry because they don't produce milk, the 2 most inverted commas humane methods of disposing of unwanted calves is to either hit them overhead with a blunt instrument, quite often a spade, or to bolt gun them in their head, usually on their first day of life. The RSPCA now prefer farmers to use electrical stunning, and that reduces the ineffectiveness down from 14% down to just 10%, meaning of the roughly 9,500 calves each month that are put down in the UK, only 950 aren't killed outright. Do you think that's a better method?
When it comes to cows, it sounds a bit crazy that they're killing and with like a chick. I know it's small and it will mean something, but Or a cow, like killing them, can't we do something else with that cow? There must be some other use for it rather than just killing it.
Well, it's because again
don't
there
use male cows.
are some exceptions, but this is the majority of the case. But the reason being is that they're different breed to the ones that we would typically be raised for beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're milk producers rather than big, if you like.
So, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. It's hard. Why are they killing so many cows? It's a hard question. But,
Yeah, because obviously only 50% of the ones that are born are actually are going to be.
It's useless to them.
So
just kill them. Yeah.
So what do you think to that electrical stunning method as opposed to spade or bolt gun?
I can't imagine making much of a difference. You're still getting the thing done. You're taking it down from 40 to 10%. I suppose that's better. But
No.
Go for 50.
Okay.
maybe there's a better option for them to do. It's more the needless cuts. I don't know if it's needless killing of things that you know you're going to eat. These questions should be towards the Prime Ministers then. So people aren't used to it, yeah.